Good morning, comic book fans, and welcome back to the final Ka-Pow Comics Best of 2035. I am your ever-loving host, Shorty, and we're going to be talking about FML, and I'm going to leave it at that for now. I think everyone knows what I mean when I say that. This is a comic book that's been on the... Sorry, it's Christmas Eve for me when I'm recording this, so I'm having a little bit of a dram. Do apologise if my vocal work is not quite as clear as you're used to. I promise I'm going to try and talk a little bit slower. But yes, it's been on my best of the year list the longest. It was the very first thing to get put onto my best of the year list, and the state of mind I was in and the state of the world as it was when I read it is a huge part of this. Don't get me wrong, whenever a new issue was dropped, it has been the highlight of my week. The delivery schedule, notwithstanding being a little bit more sporadic, has been mildly frustrating, but not in a way that stopped me enjoying it, more just in the I need more of this in my life kind of way. Because the morning I read the very first issue of this book was the morning after the election results were announced, and we all found out that the world is going to have 4 more years of President Donald J. motherfucking Trump. It was a tough morning for me, I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of dark thoughts. I was very much of the opinion that if an entire country tells you who they are, you should listen to them. And it put me in a very, very dark place. But then I read FML, issue 1, and I was in tears by the end of it. And if anyone's been watching the rest of these videos, they'll know that's not necessarily a rarity for me. Don't get me wrong, it's not common, but a good comic book, a good story, any good art, any good media should move you. And it did it in ways that I wasn't expecting to. I didn't really know what I was going to be getting from Kelly Sue DeConnick on this one. I have drifted around her work repeatedly and enjoyed what I've read, but not to the point that I'm going to be on the street corners proclaiming my love for her. However, in this one, it was exactly what I needed at the time. And once I'd finished reading it and put it to one side and gave myself a moment to sit with it and wipe the tears away, I realised, I think, that what it was doing was what a lot of people needed. Because it's a complex story with complicated threads throughout, involving multiple of the very, very well-written characters. But at its heart is a story of community. And I don't want to fall into the we live in a society kind of thing. It is more the community we choose to live in, we choose to build ourselves, that really, really struck me. Because I don't want to say unconditional love for all people, because honestly, there are some terrible, terrible people out there. There are people who have turned their back on community. There are people who turn their back on humanity. There are people who choose to portion off and section humanity into groups so they can choose to hate and choose to belittle and choose to be okay with trauma, suffering, pain, and worse to certain people because of things they've been told, things they choose to believe, things that are passed down from other generations, and they choose to never grow beyond that. But if you don't go that way, if you choose to love, if you choose to look at humanity as one big community and find your own group, your own people within it, and realise how important all these people are, then I think this is going to be the comic book for you. Not just that, but also it gives grace to not being perfect. Like I say, an unconditional is a complex phrase anyway, but the idea that you don't have to be constantly the best possible person you can be, that's okay. Not even that you have to constantly try to be the best person, because I do try. I'm a better person now than I was yesterday, and that is true almost universally going backwards. But it's not always true, because there are times when I still make mistakes. I still fall into old habits, old ways of thinking, bad ways of thinking. But because I'm not trying to be a bad person, because I'm not trying to separate humanity, I'm not trying to say some people deserve humanity and some people don't, I'd like to think that I'm allowed a little bit of grace to fail every once in a while. And so does everyone else. If you're watching this, by the way, and you vaguely align with my outlook on the world, but you think sometimes, you have failed, and sometimes you've not been the person the world deserves you to be. It's okay, because FML kind of shows that it's still okay to do that, to not be perfect, and not even to not try, but to sometimes just need some space for yourself. Not in a selfish way, but in a way of, yeah, sometimes you do need that break, and the world will be better for you taking that break rather than burning yourself out. And I needed that. And I've carried on needing it every time I've read a single issue of it, every time I've gone back and started again. It's brilliant. It's lovely, it is heartwarming, it's funny, it's terrifying, it's dark, it's scary, it's captivating. There's nothing about this comic book I don't like, including the back matter, which is like a zine every single time and promotes people doing zines, because that is a fantastic way to reach out to people, to find your community, to engage with them. And that, again, it's what it's about. It's finding those people, it's finding your people. And I hope at this time of year, anyone who's watching this video is with their people. Some of you won't be. Some of you will be taking a break from a family you don't particularly want to be with, or a group of friends you've drifted away from but find yourself, through the social contract, still having to spend time with. And if you've disappeared somewhere to spend a few minutes on your phone and you watch this video of a random northerner drinking quite a fine whiskey and talking about a comic book that has moved him to tears, I hope some of you might at least understand that, and understand that art is supposed to move you like that. And if so, maybe go and find this Kelly Sue DeConnick book and this David Lopez book and enjoy it for what it is, because honestly, it's fantastic and you deserve fantastic art in your life. That's it for now, though. Until I see you all again, look after you, everyone. Stay safe, and Merry Christmas.